I believe you have seen a bit of these, and this has to do with the fact that the cost of some of these products has started coming down, and but the problem we have in our country today is not just that the prices are coming down, but after a while they will all go back up again because we're talking about seasons. And so Nigeria is ripe enough to have storage facilities that can enable the traders have these goods on a constant note and at a constant price, so that it can help the the consumer, so that the consumer can have a good budget and work with that budget. Because what we find today is that a consumer gets to the market this day, gets to have a budget. By the time he returns the next day to buy something, that budget cannot be followed because everything has skyrocketed again. So there's need for it, for the government to work at getting to have storage facilities everywhere, so as to enable the traders store these things, and we keep having them released periodically, so that the market price will be maintained. These are the things that people are looking for in this country, because if not, before you know it, many of these products will also go to waste. They will be wasted because there will be nobody, there will be no facility to store them, and they will just go that way. So it will help the economy if there are storage facilities perfectly placed in strategic points, at strategic places, so as to enable our people to get to have a regular price of products in the country. Well, in wiser and better climes, this is what they do, and this is not beyond us. It's just the essence of having good governance to perfect everything that has to do with the lives we're living. Well, today, the main topic for the day is not really the price of products, but then it's a part of price of products. And then what we want to look into today is the real estate business in Nigeria. The real estate business in Nigeria. We want to find out how viable it is. How viable it is. It is supposed to be, sometimes you say a lifeline business that would help keep people standing in every situation. Real estate business in Nigeria, it can be viable, really. It can be viable, but it comes with its own set of challenges, because every good thing has challenges that will follow. And so is it with even the business of real estate. And some of these challenges, or opportunities rather, let's begin with opportunities before the challenges, the things I want to share, and with my guest when he comes in here. But before then, I can go on to tell you a bit more about these things. Growing demand for housing is what has gone on in this country for, a long time. I don't know how we could quantify that, because the time has been there. It's been that way for a long time. The growing demand for housing, it's everywhere, everywhere. We have a large and growing demand, a growing population. As a result of that, we must have the growing demand for housing. With a significant shortage of housing units in our country, it's not going to be easy for things to happen the way they ought to. And so you see, that's why every time there is the demand for houses, because the population is growing. Urbanization is also happening as far as this nation is concerned. And so we want to find out how it can be, what will be done, and it can help the populace. That's why we have it as a topic for the day. And until my guest comes in, I will let you know too that funding, access to funding is one major thing that will also make it or mar it. And in Nigeria, access to funding is limited, very limited. And as a result, getting housing is not that easily done in Nigeria. Interest rates are on the very high notes, and making it difficult for developers and buyers to develop, because sometimes some people want to develop estates and they will need money from the bank. But when you consider the interest that will be paid on the amount received or collected from the bank, it makes it a little difficult for such investor to continue. Though the bold ones are still doing it, and it's affecting also the people that will come in to live, because we find out that the cost of the house, the cost of the estate, the cost of the buildings will be on the very high side, and it also affects everything that has to do with the finances of the people. We also have regulatory issues. There are regulatory issues. The regulatory environment can be unpredictable, and corruption is a significant challenge as far as we know. It's a significant challenge as far as we know. So we have seen it many times that some estates have been built and completed, and after a while we hear that it is wrongly located, it should be brought down, and all the money that was put into that work goes to the drains. And some of the time, people that have given approval for those estates to be established in the first place had known that those places were not supposed to be the places where you could have such estates. But they went on to give the approval. And at the end of the day, people that have come in already to the estate will get to have problem of looking for another place, and how to stay somewhere else is not easy as far as this nation is concerned. And in most cases, these things happen in urban areas, urban cities. So it makes it more difficult, because someone has gone all the way from the village, from his state, coming to use FCT, for example, and stays there, and all of a sudden, the demolition order comes. And in some cases, before the tenants, the occupiers, would finish the things they have to do with litigation, if you like, or even discussion with the authorities that be, it will only be heard that the place has been brought down. This is a dangerous trend, and this is what leads to the death of so many people, untimely death of so many people. We pray that regulatory issues will be effectively handled, so that lives of people will be safeguarded and elongated, because when someone gets to have peace and things are working out well for such a person, basic infrastructure has been provided for such a person, then there is reason for the life to be made longer. There is reason for the lifespan to be extended. But when these things are not available, it becomes a difficult thing for people around even to live. At least I have somebody that I know, a person I know on a personal note, that had a building here in the FCT, but then sometime in the past that building was demolished, and this person had to go back to the village, and in staying in the village, one problem led to the other and the other and the other, and before you know it, that life, that beautiful life, was lost just as a result of this. And so regulatory procedures should be effectively handled, and to make sure that they are well carried out, so as to enable whoever that gets to purchase or own any plot of land, any estate, would be rest assured that what he or she has is genuine, and will not be there will not be any discrepancy or disturbance as it goes on. And there are things that they also need to look at, the essential things we need to look at when it comes to real estate in this land and the economy. For them to succeed in Nigeria, these real estates, it's essential to conduct thorough market researches, so as to market research in the sense that, and analysis in the sense that, like making sure that the land you're talking about is genuine, and that you can do what you ought to do or what you want to do without any encumbrances, without any disturbance, and without any distraction or confusion or things that could lead to negativity at the end of the day. Because the loss of life is not a positive thing, especially loss of life at the wrong time. Not that somebody will not get old and die, that's different. Then after making sure that you conduct a thorough research and analysis, they also develop a robust business plan. If these things are put in place, if there is analysis effectively carried out and the business plan is effectively brought to bear, you also find out that it helps them to build strong relationship with the local stakeholders. That if there is an estate, people can easily, conveniently go for, and especially talking about the rates of clearing the debts. Because some estate developers have also brought forth beautiful ideas of how to pay. Some will just ask for 1/10 or 2/3 of the money, and then they'll spread the rest over a period of time that will help. Just as what it would have been in the past with the Federal Mortgage Bank or with the mortgage banks around us. But we don't know how much that happens under the government at a time like this. And so these estate businesses, these houses, these deals are things that can stand and succeed if there is the willpower in the first place, if there is the effective background research and analysis so as to enable it to work out well. Then having that strong relationship will help, and they stay up to date with regulatory changes and trends in the market. Because for an estate to be developed, for anybody to go into it in these difficult times of our economy, we need to be careful to ensure that everything that has to do with the monies that will be paid will never go to waste, will never be wasted. So that as you have them, you work with them and effectively have peace at the end of the day. Overall, the Nigerian real estate market presents opportunities for investors and developers willing to navigate its challenges and complexities. As they are coming forth, as it is going on, there is need to look at these things and know how to work, how to perfect it all. The conduct of this exercise is what will go a long way in helping someone by the side to decide whether to get involved or not. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to get to have a home of your own. That is one thing, one sure thing. And for someone in the city to have a home of his own is also something beautiful, something great, something worth having. But for those that will now look at it as using all their life savings after some years of work, maybe whether in the government or private, and after all that life savings, they succeed in getting a parcel of land to develop it, and after developing, someone else comes and pulls it down. This is one very, very negative trend that should not be allowed to continue. And that's why whoever that wants to venture into the real estate business, considering the economy of the land today, will make sure that whatever that is working will be perfectly working. And the ones that are not working, they will know how to handle, or what to put in place, how to perfect it. Oh well, we'll still go on to talk about this, but then, again, I will ask for just a little time again and take another break, which will be the last, and then we'll conclude the program. Well, one thing I know is that there could be encumbrances, there could be distractions and confusions that could happen at any point in time. But incidentally, with the little time we have, I will want to introduce my guest, and then we'll make use of it before the end of the day. I'm talking about Oche Anya. Oche Anya is a realtor, and it's good to have you here. I've been talking about real estate business in the economy. So without taking much time, I want to say welcome.
Thank you very much.
And what can you tell us about the real estate business? How good is it for the economy at a time like this?
Okay. The Well, thank you for having me around.
Yes.
My name is Oche, Anya, the General Manager of Top Profile Real Estate.
Okay.
Real estate in these times that we are in is like the name implies, is the realest place you can put your money in terms of investment. Since we have the way people say fluctuation of dollars, if you go to even buy meat now, they even tell you how the dollar affects it. But with your land, just a road network connected to your terrain can increase the value of your land drastically. So, and with the advent of our current minister in the Federal Capital Territory, he's doing a lot of works and infrastructure within the Federal Capital. So lots of suburban areas are being opened up to major highways, and then while the connection is made, land values in those places appreciate greatly, and then people who have taken that risk, that leap of faith to invest in real estate within those axes are going to be enjoying the dividends of their investment in a very short while.
So in actual fact, in other words, what you're saying is that as a result of the fact that there is development in infrastructure right away, that the parcels of land in deeper areas of FCT are beginning to appreciate in value.
Yes, very true.
Okay. Can you give us an idea of these sort of things? Because we need to, though we have limited time now, but we need to say, how do you encourage somebody that is yet to get into it? After watching this program today, how do you encourage him to get involved in real estate?
Okay. A good example is lands at Kurudu Jukwe axis with the new commissioning of the road network between Apo and Karshi. While that place is opening up, it will take somebody in Jukwe axis less than 15 minutes, 10 minutes to get to town, as you call it in Abuja here. So people who have investment in such areas, by the time that road opens up, they will get to town faster than some people who supposedly are in town. So so just from Apo, you just get straight to your land in Kurudu. And if you notice, in such areas, the road infrastructure there is already clean. It's just that you have to go all the way through Kurudu, Jukwe, Anya, Barracks, and then do the whole turn. But you know, Abuja is a very hilly terrain. So once you just blast the rock, open a way, and then you discover that what you're going all the way to go and see is just behind your land. So once that place opens up, people within those axes, Karshi, they will begin to enjoy very great interest on their investment.
I see. Yeah. I know a bit about interest on investment, I would say, because I remember there's one plot of land that many years back, was bought at 600,000. After about 10 to 15 years, no, after 17 years, it was so that land that was bought for 600,000 eventually was sold for 6 million. So looking at it, moving from 600,000 to 6 million, you know, and in actual fact, it is still rising because of the fact that the development has happened around there.
Very true. And I even believe it should even appreciate way more than that. It's because of the speed of development from the time frame when the person got it to when he decided to sell it. But in this very fast-paced world that we live in now, the rate of development is much faster. So, so people will enjoy investment, returns on their investment even faster than before. It doesn't have to take that length of time.
Long to be achieved. Okay. And looking at real estate, now that people don't seem to have much money, how can they be investing in it? I mean, how do they get the money?
Okay. Well, my company designed this package. We call it Easy Buy. So so let's, for example, there are parcel of land even within those axes that are prone to high level of returns on investment. We still have lands for 3 million, 2.5 million, 1.9 million. So what we do is we do what we call Easy Buy. where you can go on a monthly subscription. You put 500,000. We even go as low as you can even put maybe like 100,000 just to get into the slots, just to acquire it for the current price, so that even when the price increases, you
no
still
longer affect the
it no longer affects you because you're not a partner. Yes, then you keep paying like that, just bit by bit, by bit, and at the end of the day, you're a proud landowner in Abuja.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So you encourage people to really get involved in this,
Yes,
irrespective of the fact that things are quite difficult around here.
That is the only way they can actually hedge against the economy now. So once you have a land and then you know you're putting some resources there, with in a short while you'll be amazed the level of returns you will get on that land will be able to cover the other lapses within the economy as we see it these days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this could be the last one because of time. We have seen some areas where after developing, the government clamps upon them and destroys the entire area, destroys the buildings that have been put there, describing it as illegal development.
Yeah.
What do you do to avert this kind of problem?
Okay. Abuja is a well-structured city that has a plan. So most people go against the plan of the FCT and then they build. You just see a land. For every land you see within the FCT, it has its land use. Some lands can only carry certain type of building prototypes on them. Some lands only agree for a certain number of persons to be there. So for a land that can only take, let's say, for example, 5 families, you go and build block of flats to take about maybe like 10 to 12 flats. It's against that design of the whole place because it's well calculated, including the road network and the water supply in such places. So what the advice for people is, before you start building, go to development control, make sure that your building tallies, it goes in line with development control, so that you know exactly what you're supposed to build on the land, and then you build according to the plan of the FCT, and you will not have any problem.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, your own company,
yes,
that is top
profile.
Yeah. Now, are you sure that the parcels of land that you have, that you're giving to people,
yes,
that they are genuine, perfectly genuine?
Yes, sir.
Because do you know why I asked that question?
Why, please?
There are some parcels of land that you'll be told they are genuine. After a while, you still see there's the trouble on the land.
Yes.
Have you taken steps to forestall this?
Yes, sir, we have. Actually, before we put any land in the market for sales for our, because we're into site and services for our estates, we actually go through all of these phases and make sure that we already have building approvals, we already have our documents for all the lands that are in line with FCD approvals, and they are verifiable in ages. So after which, then we can now, with the prototypes on ground and everything that we've done in line with what we're supposed to be doing within the FCT, then we'll say, okay, we are good to go, and then we'll start telling people you can come around and buy and build so and so on so and so plot of land.
Okay, so you finished the background work.
Yes, sir.
Before you now start asking people to come for it.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's part of what I had shared with people here on the program today. I really mentioned how viable it could be, as far as there is what do you call it now? As far as there is authenticity in what you're doing, that it could help the person to get something, and as far as the basic arrangements are made, that they will be good to go.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's good to have you on this program today. We have discussed real estate and the economy, and you are a realtor, Oche Anya.
Yes, sir.
We thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, sir.
Though a lot of things I said happened that you didn't come as early as you would have been. That means we want you to return. So we'll talk about it, and you'll be here early enough to say a whole lot more, because I know you still got more to say.
Yes, I think that would be a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Well, dear viewer, that's how we'll be rounding off the program today. And what I would say is that in his own word, as he said, that the real place to make investment is in real estate now. That's what you said at the beginning. So that is what I want to hold on to. If you find fund, please invest in real estate. It will help your economy to get better. We'll still go on and share other things as time goes on. I wouldn't fail to say thank you to all my people that have helped make sure that this program is well perfected, my producer, the editor, and the studio directors, to ensure that they perfect it all. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you. As a team, we have worked and made the best happen to all of us. I am Okechukwu Onubogu. God bless you.